Okay, guys, we're recording, so let's go ahead and get started with the word of prayer. And volunteers.
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, we're thankful for the lessons we've learned and be able to share them with each other for their insights. And we say this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Any spiritual thoughts they'd like to share today?
That I can think of.
Not me either. How about you, Ellen?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, then let's get right into it. So we have to vote individually. So should David Viviero raise money now? Yes or no? What do you think, Ellen? What's that?
I'm having a hard time hearing.
You having a hard time hearing?
Yeah. I only catch about every other third word or so.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me try something. Just a second. Okay, can you guys hear me better now?
Yes. Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me now, Ellen?
Oh, yes, I can now.
Okay. So, to begin with, the vote, we have to vote on if should David raise money now, yes or no. What do you guys think?
And my vote would say not now.
Not now, okay. What about you, Ellen?
I was kind of leaning toward that too, but then as soon as I think, no, maybe not now, then I think, but maybe
True.
But I think we should probably wait.
Okay, so I agree with you guys there too. I think he should wait. Now it wants to us discuss why should he wait? Like why not? Why shouldn't he raise money now?
The main reason I saw was because of the valuation of the company. So whenever they raise funds, they're giving up equity, and that equity is based on how much the value of the company is worth. And so if the value of the company is really, really high, 5 million isn't going to take away a lot of equity from the owners. But if the valuation is very, very low, 5 million could take a lot of the equity away. So their current valuation, given their costs per cost versus profitability of each sale is not very good.
Okay. Would you agree there, Ellen?
Yeah, and that's that's why I was thinking, trying to say if he should raise money now or later, and I get the whole raising money and cost per equity. They could raise, I was thinking maybe raise a little bit as well at first when I was trying to decide, going back and forth. But I don't know if you can do that. Can you just say, you know, can you just raise a little bit? Or does it have to be when you're raising money, is it always correct?
That's a good point, because they mentioned that the offer was 5 million, but I guess it is possible they don't have to take the full amount, unless the venture capitalists refuse to give any less because they want as much equity as possible themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's kind of hard. I don't know. It's almost like a yes or no. Yes, you do, or no, you don't. But I get that standpoint too. I think I kind of like that idea, Ellen, of raising just a little bit right now. You don't have to do the full amount, and it at least gets kind of things started. You know what I mean? Kind of gets things going a little bit. So I don't know if that's per se what he's hoping that we get out of this question, but you know what? That's kind of why we're here to discuss it. So
Yep.
I would totally agree that I think that should be at least an option to look at, and look at it seriously enough to think maybe that's the solution, not just necessarily a yes or a no. Maybe there's an alternative. You know, there's always a solution to a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta look for it though. So I think,
Problem
Not
solving.
always black or white. It's,
all right, exactly. Like my GM at the store I'm at, he always talks about that you don't always try to say, okay, yes, it's this, or it's this way or this way. When I first started on, that's what he was trying to teach me. Is I was telling him, well, no, we got to do it this way, or if it doesn't happen that way, then it can't happen.
Nathan, did we lose you?
we might have.
He's still there, but I don't hear any audio. Oh, now it's starting to come in.
Okay. So I guess it's probably, I think that's what it comes down to. So I think realistically, I think that's what needs to happen. So I think he needs to look at a serious option of possibly doing a partial raise of funds versus just a yes or no, all in or not. So. You guys still hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So the next question is, what is CLV of a RentJuice customer? You will be asked to report your decision in the post-discussion poll. Use the following assumptions. Annual churn is 38%. Monthly revenue per customer is $440. Gross margin is 75%. GAC is given in the case as 2,300.
So, given that the CAC is the cost of acquiring a customer, right? So
Yeah.
it's basically 2,300, which actually in the case today, I think it said 2,290 to get one customer. That same one customer throughout the lifetime of as long as they're using the product, based on estimates of how long people stay with the company and use their services, they make $868.42 for the company. So they're making less than half of what it costs to get a customer. So they're doing terrible when it comes to profitability.
So basically, so with that in mind, the CLV is what then?
The CLV is $868.42 per customer.
Per customer, okay.
So throughout the lifetime of the customer, as long as they're paying and stay with the company, that's how much extra money or profit the company makes off of them. And then also you got to look at the cost. And so it's the profit of the customer versus the cost.
So it looks like it's costing us more to acquire customers versus the value.
Why does this say the monthly revenue per customer is 440 then?
Right.
Well, it goes down to the churn rate. So the churn rate is going to be how long, how many of them actually stay with the company. And so some are going to stay longer and some are going to stay less than even a month. And so, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, because realistically, the customer lifetime value is going to be over a longer period of time than a month.
Yeah, and that churn rate is really, really high. I mean, think about almost 40% of all your customers basically leave your product, and it's like, well, why? You know, what don't they like about it?
Right.
Right, it seems like they're constantly trying to get customers just to replace the ones they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So how well is the sale funnel at RentJuice working? What can you think of to improve it? How can you reduce CAC?
What is that? That's something around here. Something about it might have something structure. Let me reread the question. Sales funnel. Okay, so the sales funnel, they have what? A lot of junior agents and sending up customers to a lot of senior agents, or was it?
What was that again? You kind of cut out there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to look through it, and I can't remember how many, but there's a certain number of junior agents or junior sales reps versus senior sales reps. And the junior sales reps essentially set up appointments and then send them off to the senior sales reps. I think one of them had more than the other. I can't remember. I think it might have been the senior sales reps. There might have been more of them, like 2 to every 1 junior.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't see where it talks about that. I see where it talks about their pay.
One more time. I dare you. One more time. But when people say that, they do.
I can pull that out. Oh, maybe I have it down here.
Yeah, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
Okay, junior analysts were paid $20 for every demo. According, strong senior analysts could earn.
That's what I was just looking at too. Wait, where does it say that?
Well, I can't find the specifics. I do have the financial data about them, but I'm pretty sure that it was that they had a lot of senior representatives and very few junior representatives.
Right there, kind of down that paragraph. RentJuice had 1 business analyst and 2 senior analysts.
There we go. Okay. So 2 senior. And so my understanding of sales is it's a trickle-down effect. So it's usually that you have a lot more upfront people trying to find customers. Then they would set up appointments, and that would go to fewer seniors that would then take that instead of having more seniors than juniors. That just seems like that junior wouldn't be able to produce enough appointments to handle the larger senior group, if that makes sense. So you have like 10 juniors and maybe 2 seniors, and the 2 seniors would be able to handle that workload. Instead of the other way around, because the seniors, I think, are getting paid more according to this. So junior analysts average 50,000 annually.
But wouldn't you?
And seniors earned about 110,000 annually, so almost twice as much.
But wouldn't that kind of keep our CAC up though a little bit, or maybe not? I don't know, because wouldn't we have to pay them more?
The juniors?
No, the seniors.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why we would lower the amount of seniors and increase the juniors, because it takes 2 juniors to cost the same amount as 1 senior.
Okay, I get you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's where right now they have less juniors and more seniors.
Okay.
Do you think that 2 juniors would overload 1 senior, because it takes longer for the seniors to do their thing with the customer, right, than it does for a junior to just call and make an appointment?
Right. That'd be if every single call they made set up an appointment. So
Sure.
I think that it would be kind of just based on how many each junior could set up. Like, let's say they set up 3 appointments a day. 2 juniors makes 6 appointments for the senior, and that sounds like that'd be doable.
That's true.
So that's just one thought for lowering the cost here. Reduce it was them 110 to 120,000 a year.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so the last question on this case study, it says, how should Viviero, or you should say whatever his name is, David, respond to the new competition? List pros and cons of each option. List all the options you can think of. List pros and cons of each option. As a group, you must decide on a course of action. So how do you guys think he should respond to the new competition? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's kind of up to him. It didn't say a lot about the new competition other than that it was already taking hold of the landlord market.
I think one of the things, I guess, that he could do to respond is to make sure that he has some kind of plan in his business model to keep his customers loyal so they don't divert off to the competition. I think that's the biggest thing that he needs to do in order to respond back to them. Not necessarily like verbally or whatever, but just because he's gonna probably have a few of his customers probably could leave because of other competition out there, which happens. But I think if you can still keep showing the value in what you're doing, it will obviously help keep those customers more loyal to you. You just gotta, I don't know. That's the thing that kind of concerns me for him, is he could possibly lose out on some customers because of the upcoming competition that's coming in. So that's kind of something that kind of needs to be looked at, kind of evaluated, I guess.
Yeah. So what would you say he should do to kind of assess that?
I think the best way is to see maybe his current customers that he has, I don't know if he's got a loyalty or a loyalty program yet in place for his customers, but maybe that's something he needs to add to show the value to his customers, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
So that they can say, okay, well, he does care about my business. He cares that I do come to him, so he's going to benefit me from being a loyal customer. He's going to get me, so much off, or a coupon for so much off, or he's going to get me some free product or whatever it may be. Just something. He's going to have to look at it and see what will work in obviously his financials to make it work for him, so he's not necessarily losing money, but also it's going to be able to bring and develop stronger relationships with those customers that he already has to keep them together in his fold instead of the others. So
Yeah, so like a loyalty program, something to reward people for sticking
yeah,
with him instead of venturing into the other competition.
yeah,
I would say that the companies that are targeting the landlords, they don't have the brokerages, the brokers, and all that RentJuice has. So once he does go in and starts getting landlords, the program for landlords, I mean that's a solid piece of software that just encompasses the entire market, as opposed to these other businesses that focus on just one part of each market. So, a loyalty program plus a, hey, we've got everything here. You can communicate with anyone you need to. Like, I think that kind of gives them a competitive advantage.
That's what I was thinking too. They need to hurry up and get that real time ready and online so that the landlords can look at the new listings, that have just been on the market.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big question. They are not, their cost structure, their profitability structure is really, really bad. And making the company grow into a larger market while it's already bad in their profitability will just make them burn through any investment they get faster. They're just going to incur more costs, and that money, that $5 million that they get, that's just going to go away super fast if they do it that way. So I don't know if they should go ahead and get into that market, take the money, take the investment, go into the market, and then work on their profitability, or if they should first work on their profitability, then take an investment, and then get into that market.
yeah,
Because either has its risks.
yeah, it does. No, it really does. Well, that's the nature of business, though, right? Sometimes you have to take risks to get where you want to go, though. Sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's,
And everything has a risk.
yeah. Yep. Have risk just getting into a car and driving out on the street, for goodness sake.
Yep.
So, okay, so I think realistically our course of action at this point is to, what would you guys say, just put some plans in place to make sure that we're ready for the new competition to arrive, basically.
Yeah. I guess if it was me, just personally,
Mm-hmm.
the way I think my plans that I would put in place is to first work on my profitability. I just hate the fact that I'm losing so much money every customer I get. So that would bug me. I would work on that, and then I would take an investment and then work on the market and pray that the market isn't already saturated, or that people are willing to leave the competition and come over to me.
Yeah, that's true. It's profitability is so important for a business to survive, obviously, and
Right.
you got to make sure that that's in place, because these options we talked about, like loyalty programs, reward programs, whatever it may be, unless you're profitable, it's not going to really matter because you're not going to have enough money to keep it going.
Yeah.
So it's, you're eventually going to lose the customers because you're not going to be able to keep your word. And so,
And it takes time to put all these plans in place too.
yes,
Yep.
it
Yeah,
does.
time is money.
That's true too. Time is money.
That's why I think you should hurry and put that real time going so that the landlords and workers and stuff can look at that.
Question is, does he really need the investment to start that? It sounds like he was already working on it. I wonder if he could just move forward with it while working on the profitability and then look at the investment.
Well, that's what I was thinking, that, that could be something that could generate more customers while he's working on the profitability.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. And then, with the investments they get later on, they can just scale larger and
Mm-hmm.
get a larger sales force and just keep going from there.
Right.
Okay, so I guess that's our plan of action. So work on getting that product out as soon as possible and increasing the profitability, probably by lowering the cost structure as far as the sales team.
Yes.
And then when the company's got good valuation, then getting more investment and scaling the company larger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Okay.